It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against... So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered...
We've already discussed this together, and...
What? But all of you were...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Qi did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista, and as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands.
Attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's... much for
For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest...
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to we haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me! Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
Not breaking a sweat! No slacking off!
Eyes on me!
Looks like I went too far. This is bad. My work. Finished.
test. What is that?
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Animal hypostasis simulation. Animal test 6308. The ancient gods attacking again. There are so many Fatui too. We can't look.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy. That light from your body. It's like the time in giant cars. Wow, it's a Madame Ping shockwave. This granny's really strong.
Riptide!
Just like I went too far. Rude. Disgusting. I will end you.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil.
Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
So this is what Gunny's like in a fight.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast.
Yeah.
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
This isn't good.
Enhanced animal module 75. Stand clear. Over here.
It isn't time for a break yet. My work.
Power that ended us. Stand clear. Animal hypostasis simulation.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak. In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
This is good. This is it.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
Take this!
Absorption test. Stand clear. Animal hypostasis simulation.
This should be fun.
Over here.
Disgusting. My duty.
Eyes on me!
Miscalculated. The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully. The interlopers are...
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what. I have another idea. What do you mean, Lady Ningguang? I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be...
Save your flattery.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had at first, it was only the size of a small room. But it is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of...
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know...
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, but that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its...
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. Although I am a mere...
Huh?
Weren't you...
I wasn't afraid. When danger is near, thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate
Huh?
because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Oh.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the... although their blood is weak. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit...
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long set. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue. Fair enough. Away we shall. And
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but our child wanted to unleash the god, but we were able to handle the overlord of the... Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less... Rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshan Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that...
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you play...
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and make sure that...
Consumer psychology.
Join the Adventurers Guild. Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers?
Don't take it to heart, child. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but what?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract, for it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. I witnessed the founding of Liyue, together with the Adepti 3,700 years ago. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come, until one drizzly day. But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that it was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Chising to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liu matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. Why, you even deserved an encore. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even tried to understand the heart of the people. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liu in this mortal form. Thank you for walking that path with me, Traveler. These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all!
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark!
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapolyarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of my agreement with the crime. As for the bargaining, uncover that answer.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those...
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what, there's only one real possibility in my mind.
The Fatui? They certainly are very...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to...
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex...
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must... Still, what sort of
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over...
Hear ye all! The Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars, aged gods and adepti live glorious lives. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened, nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the So that something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the merc? The Qixing already have no... Did Zhongli tell them exactly, right? Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract.
3,700 years of...
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But
the long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, will you stand with us as we re-establish our...
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tian. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking the...
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes... Name your price. You did...
Whoa...
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
But it seems as if those, well...
As for the mortals,
perhaps...
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel right? If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk. You're right. I do lack the
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look but since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you want.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. Yes, the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans, but if a person shows true strength, this is what visions are. Magical foci.
That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt.
Vision Hunt decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions.
They want to seize vision.
I should think that in...
Whoa!
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that the fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this
Add Astra.
If you ever want to trade tactics.
Power that ended height! Enhanced Animal Module 75! Yeah! Get them! Stand clear! Absorption test! Ha! Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Yeah! Bring it on! Yeah! Amateur mistake.
Take this! To ashes! Gotcha!
Traveler, please, over here. It has been a while since you joined the Adventurers Guild.
Seriously?
That stranger nonetheless. After all, and should the stranger be a strong adventurer indeed, he would certainly be a— Please don't— Your deeds are the stuff of song for all the bards in this— Well, as to— He stands— I wish you— Ad Astra Abyssum.
When you're high up, everyone can hear your voice.
Can't you give me a better price?
I swear on the Archons, I can't go anywhere.
trickier than I thought.
Sister Rosaria! So here you are! Choir practice is a—
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
But—
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure, but—
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the least bit odd?
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Even if you set out right now, I'll wager you'd still miss the opening. Who knows? Maybe this is someone's grand plan to make a fool.
Huh? Well, that can't be. People aren't like that.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feeling. Don't fret, nobody's gonna blame you, but if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going. Seems like that nun's an expert in making people believe anything she...
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain. Or...
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where. And you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was whispering so quick.
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... So it's you, the honorary knight that saved us from Storm Terror. Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have...
What? Do the nuns of Mon...
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we?
That doesn't...
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of note. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still...
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. I couldn't care what you...
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
This one's well done. Bring it on. You can run, but you can't hop.
Swirl, Mark 2!
Take this!
This quickly.
Power that ended Haishan!
Eat this! Animal test 6308.
Let's end this quickly. I'm quite impressed.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! No! Did I ruin everything? Let's end this quickly! Don't break my glass! That's not right! Out of the frying pan! Let's end this quickly! Out of the frying pan! Yeah! I guess this is it. It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm all right. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Seems like there's more to being a nun in the Favonius Church than I'm unrealized. Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is the views and see.
But... Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk. Let's take them out of the picture first.
Who are you? Why did you alarm? Thank the gods I'd already completed my sketch.
What's up with sketch?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my sketch, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the...
You can find these holy... But take a look at this specimen. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are...
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for... We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you... what a week...
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to... But back to the point. From her words,
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said thought you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard a bit of everything. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Whoa, whoa! You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, it's...
Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
A question. After the sea...
I don't know. But I feel using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life and after awakening.
No! Paimon's got a brain! But
Well, if it turns...
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, the subject of my... How you're able to free... Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? Fascinating. And this floating child is... connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child!
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backward.
Hey! How would you know?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans, and given that there's clearly a discrepancy in their research, it seems that firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them, using whatever method comes most naturally to you.
Huh? Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. Naturally, if you require...
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself.
Out of the frying pan, it's the... Absorption test! Animal test 6308! Tuh. Tuh. Kuh. Tuh. Ha. Gah. Ha. 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 Take this! Out of the frying pan, it's the...
Yeah!
Stand clear!
Great work. Did you feel any... If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. Now that we know that...
Internal flow...
It's very simple. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically with it...
Sounds...
Don't worry.
And...
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made... Well, that's not just a warning. If an internal Yes, that's... It's a... I'll take you to... All going to...
Paimon's? Let's keep our eyes open.
Should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research.
Hello! I think the most rational direction would be to expound. Following.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. A cryored in that
yes, sir.
After all, if it turned out.
Speaking of.
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Tasty? You've got a funny look. You said...
Oh, this was the result of... This potion channels elemental power, but if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort.
So you knew you'd be sick?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural, but of course, in conclusion... Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. The good people are this when you're sick, but a peculiar person. For example, a human can't To sum up, Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Having you down as an ant.
Not bad.
You can count.
Is he trying to join?
If you're
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready. If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready. If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.